There comes a moment in life when everything you thought was stable suddenly starts to shake. Your plans fall apart. Your heart feels heavier than your body can carry. Your confidence, once strong and alive, begins to fade like a light, slowly losing its power. The world that once looked full of possibilities suddenly becomes confusing, dark, and strangely silent. You wake up each morning feeling tired before the day even begins, and you go to bed every night replaying the same worries over and over again. In front of others, you wear a smile, polished, practiced, almost perfect. But inside, something feels like it's slowly sinking. You carry a quiet weight that nobody notices, and deep down you wonder if anyone would truly understand, even if you tried to explain. Then there's that private moment when you sit alone and whisper, "Why me? Why now? What did I do wrong? When will this end?" And the most frightening part is not the problem itself. It's the feeling that your strength is slipping away, piece by piece, like sand through your fingers. But here is the truth you often forget when life hurts the most. Your darkest moments are not proof that you are weak. They are proof that you are still fighting. If you were truly defeated, you wouldn't be searching for answers. You wouldn't be here right now. Bad times don't come to destroy you. They come to rebuild you into someone stronger, wiser, and unshakable. And in this guide, you will learn how to not only survive the storm, but rise from it with more clarity and power than you ever imagined. Chapter 1. When Life Hurts. Life has a way of surprising us with moments of difficulty that feel heavier than we expect. These moments come in different shapes for different people. For some, it is the shock of losing a job that once felt secure. For others, it is the pain of a breakup, the disappointment of a failed plan, the struggle of financial stress, or the slow, exhausting weight of a long, difficult season that refuses to end. Even though the reasons are different, the emotional experience often feels the same. You feel stuck, as if life has pressed pause on all your progress. You feel tired, not just in your body but in your heart, like you have been carrying a heavy backpack that nobody else can see. And most of all, you feel uncertain about the future, unsure of what is coming next, or how long this difficult chapter will last. People love to say, "Stay positive," as if positivity is a switch you can turn on instantly. But during bad times, positivity is not simple. Sometimes it even feels fake. You may smile on the outside because you don't want others to worry, but inside your mind is full of fear, doubt, and confusion. That does not mean you are weak. It means you are human. This chapter is not about pretending to be strong. It's about understanding why pain feels so heavy and why your emotional reaction is not a flaw but a natural response. When life becomes difficult, your brain enters survival mode. It becomes alert. It looks for danger. It notices problems more intensely because it wants to protect you. That is why the simple things feel hard, and the small problems feel big. You are not failing. Your mind is trying to keep you safe. Understanding this helps you breathe again. It reminds you that your pain does not mean you are broken. It means you care. And being human means you will fall sometimes, but it also means you have the strength to rise again. Chapter 2. Accept the storm. When something painful happens in your life, your first instinct is usually to fight against the emotions that rise inside you. You may tell yourself, "I shouldn't feel like this," or "Why is this happening to me?" Or, "I need to stop being sad." This reaction is natural. Nobody likes discomfort. Nobody wants to feel weak, disappointed, or overwhelmed. But fighting your emotions is like trying to stop the rain with your hands. The harder you try to control it, the stronger the storm feels. You end up exhausting yourself, not because the pain is too powerful, but because you are resisting it so intensely. Acceptance does not mean you approve of what happened. It does not mean the pain is okay or that you enjoy it. Acceptance simply means you stop fighting the reality of the moment. You allow yourself to feel what you feel without judgment. You say gently to yourself, "Yes, this is hard. Yes, it hurts. But I will get through it." This simple honesty calms your nervous system. It reduces emotional pressure. It gives your mind space to breathe and think clearly again. Most people remain stuck in difficult times because they deny their emotions. They push them down, smile through the pain, and pretend everything is fine while quietly breaking inside. True strength is not pretending. True strength is choosing truth over denial. It is allowing yourself to admit, "This hurts, but I'm still here. I'm hurting, but I haven't quit." When you accept the storm instead of fighting it, something powerful begins to change. The storm no longer feels like an enemy. It becomes a challenge you can manage, a season you can endure. And slowly, the storm loses its power, not because it disappears, but because you stop wasting your energy trying to control it. Acceptance is the first step toward healing, clarity, and inner peace. Chapter 3. Name your pain. Pain becomes much heavier when it remains vague and unexpressed. That is why naming your emotions is one of the most powerful steps you can take during difficult times. When feelings remain hidden and undefined, they swirl inside your mind like a fog, making everything feel confusing and overwhelming. But the moment you put words to what you feel, when you say, "I'm scared," or "I'm exhausted," or "I feel rejected," your brain starts to organize the chaos. It is similar to cleaning a messy room. At first, everything looks scattered and overwhelming, but once you pick up the pieces and put them in their place, the room suddenly feels lighter and easier to navigate. Many people carry emotional pain for years, not because the pain is too big, but because they never took the time to recognize it, understand it, or name it. They bury their feelings deep inside, thinking that ignoring them will make them disappear. But buried emotions do not disappear. They change shape. They become anxiety, anger, numbness, or constant stress. Some people walk through life feeling heavy without knowing why, and it is often because they never allowed themselves to speak honestly about their emotions. Naming your pain does not require talking to anyone else. You can name your feelings silently in your mind or write them down privately. The goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to tell the truth to yourself. When you name your pain, your heart feels heard. Your mind feels understood. Your emotions no longer feel like a storm. They feel like signals, messages trying to guide you. Your feelings are not your enemy. They are information, and when you allow yourself to feel them fully, you begin the real process of healing. Healing starts with honesty. It starts with acknowledging the truth of your own heart. And once you recognize your pain, you finally take back control of your emotional world. Chapter 4. Don't face it alone. One of the most dangerous beliefs people carry during hard times is the thought, "I don't want to bother anyone." This belief quietly pushes you into isolation, where your emotions become heavier and your problems begin to echo louder inside your mind. You start hiding your struggles, wearing a mask of strength while your heart feels tired and alone. Human beings were never designed to carry emotional weight by themselves. Even the strongest people break when they are isolated. Strength does not grow in silence. Strength grows through connection. Talking about your struggle does not mean you're asking someone to solve your problems. You are simply giving your heart permission to breathe. When you share your burden with someone you trust, just one genuine, caring person, your emotional load becomes lighter. Your pain becomes clearer. You gain perspective. You realize you are not as alone as your mind made you believe. You do not need a large support group. You do not need 10 people checking on you. You only need one safe person, someone who listens without judgment, someone who understands, someone who simply stays present. If you feel like you have no one, remind yourself that people who care do exist. Sometimes help comes from unexpected places. An old friend you lost contact with, a teacher, a family member, even a stranger who offers kindness at the right moment. You deserve support. You deserve understanding. You deserve to be heard. Asking for help is not weakness, it is wisdom. It shows strength, maturity, and courage. It shows you value your own emotional health enough to reach out. Healing becomes easier the moment you stop walking through your darkness alone. A single conversation can open a window where you once saw only walls. You are not meant to carry everything by yourself. Let others help you carry the weight. Chapter 5. Slow down your mind. When life becomes overwhelming, your mind starts to move faster than your body can keep up. Every fear becomes a loud echo. Every insecurity becomes a prediction. Your thoughts jump to the worst-case scenario again and again. What if things never get better? What if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if everything I'm afraid of actually happens? This mental spiral is called catastrophic thinking, and during hard times it becomes louder, stronger, and more convincing. But the truth is, your mind is not predicting the future. It is reacting to stress. And the first step to overcoming bad times is not forcing yourself to think positive. It's slowing down your mind so you can see reality clearly again. Start by giving your brain a signal that danger is not present. Deep breathing is more powerful than people realize. When you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale for 4, you are telling your nervous system to relax. Your body listens, your mind follows. Then shift your attention to one simple task. When your thoughts race, don't try to solve everything at once. Pick one small action and do it slowly and intentionally. The mind cannot panic and be fully focused at the same time. And then, bring yourself back into the present moment. Place your hand on your chest, feel your heartbeat, and remind yourself, I am safe, I am here, I can handle this. You will notice that bad moments become less frightening when your mind is calm. Strength does not begin with action. It begins with stillness. Chapter 6. Control what you can. In difficult moments, the mind becomes obsessed with everything it cannot control. You replay the past, worry about the future, overthink people's actions, and blame yourself for things you had no power over. This mental chaos steals your energy and leaves you feeling helpless. But healing begins the moment you stop chasing control over the uncontrollable and start focusing on what belongs to you. You control your attitude, you control your habits, you control how you respond to challenges. Even when life feels dark, you still have influence over small parts of your day. And those small parts are enough to create momentum. The key is simplicity. Clean one corner of your room. Take a short walk outside. Drink water and breathe slowly. Plan just one useful task. Read a single page that teaches you something new. Try one tiny idea that moves your life forward, even by 1%. Bad times shrink your world until it feels suffocating, but small actions expand it again. Every step you take, no matter how slow, is proof that you are not stuck. You are progressing, and progress, no matter the size, is a victory. Chapter 7. Your mistakes are lessons. Many storms in life begin with a mistake you made or a choice you regret. Maybe you trusted someone who broke you. Maybe you failed at something you cared about. Maybe you made a decision that changed everything in ways you didn't expect. But mistakes are not the end of your story. They are the beginning of your transformation. Every successful person has walked through failure, disappointment, and bad decisions. What separates them is not luck. It is their willingness to learn. When something goes wrong, ask yourself what the moment is trying to teach you. Every mistake carries a message. Maybe you need stronger boundaries. Maybe you need better discipline. Maybe you need new skills, clearer thinking, or a different environment. Mistakes expose the areas where you must grow, but they also show you exactly where growth is possible. You don't evolve by pretending everything is fine. You evolve by being honest about where you went wrong and deciding to become stronger because of it. Bad times aren't punishment. They are preparation. They shape you into someone wiser, sharper, and more resilient than before. And one day you will look back and realize those painful moments were the training grounds for your strength. Chapter 8. Change your environment. Sometimes the heaviness you feel is not coming from within. It is coming from the world around you. The people you spend time with, the places you live in, and the routines you repeat every day all shape your energy, your emotions, and your mindset. Toxic people drain you. Chaotic spaces overwhelm you. Negative habits slowly weaken your motivation until you start blaming yourself for a problem that was never fully yours. This is why one of the most powerful steps toward healing is not changing who you are. It is changing where you are. Ask yourself who truly supports you and who quietly discourages you. Reflect on which habits make you better and which habits pull you backward. Notice the environments that bring you peace and the ones that increase your stress the moment you enter them. You cannot rise while staying in a place that keeps you small. You cannot heal in the same atmosphere that hurt you. But changing your environment does not always require dramatic decisions. Start small. Clean your workspace so your mind feels clearer. Rearrange your room so your energy shifts. Find a new study spot that makes you feel focused. Adjust your online environment by unfollowing negativity and surrounding yourself with growth. Limit the noise of social media so you can hear your own thoughts again. Your environment is not just a background. It is a force that influences your thoughts, your discipline, and your emotional strength. When you begin changing the world around you, even in tiny ways, your inner world begins to change too. Chapter 9. Rebuild your confidence. During difficult seasons, your confidence takes the deepest hit. Even if the world cannot see it, inside you feel yourself shrinking. You doubt your decisions. You question your abilities. You begin to believe that you are weaker than you truly are. But confidence is not something you either have or don't have. It is something you rebuild from the ground up, piece by piece, through consistent actions and kinder self-belief. Start by celebrating small wins, because every small victory counts more during hard times. If you woke up early, finished a task, organized one corner of your room, drank water, or simply showed up despite feeling low, that is a win. These small wins trigger dopamine, giving your brain the motivation it needs to keep going. Then pay attention to the voice inside your head. It should not be your enemy. It should be your source of strength. Speak to yourself with the same patience and encouragement you would give to someone you love. Tell yourself, I'm trying, I'm learning, I'm improving, I will overcome this. And finally, commit to doing one hard thing every day, no matter how small. Each difficult task you finish, whether it is a workout, a challenging assignment, or a difficult conversation, proves to your mind that you are stronger than your situation. Confidence is built through repetition, not perfection. The more you push forward, the more you will feel your strength returning, quietly, steadily, and powerfully. Chapter 10. Find meaning in your struggle. Every period of struggle, no matter how dark or painful, carries a hidden meaning. Sometimes that meaning only becomes clear years later, when you look back and realize the lessons you learned, the strength you gained, and the wisdom you acquired. Other times you can sense it in the middle of the storm, a quiet understanding that each challenge is shaping you in ways you cannot yet fully see. The key is to ask yourself the right questions. What if this moment, painful as it is preparing me for something greater? What if this struggle is not meant to break me, but to build me into a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of myself? What if this challenge is laying the foundation for the future I have always hoped for, even if I cannot yet imagine it? When you start looking for meaning in your hardships, Suffering stops feeling like a punishment and begins to feel like preparation. Purpose gives your pain direction, and direction gives you strength. You are not enduring this for nothing. Every tear, every setback, every anxious night, every moment of doubt is shaping a new you, a version of yourself that is resilient, grounded, and unshakable. Even when it feels impossible, trust that your struggle is crafting your courage, your patience, and your wisdom. This understanding transforms fear into hope and confusion into clarity. You are not just surviving, you are evolving. Chapter 11. Build a routine that saves you. During difficult times, motivation is often the first thing to vanish. When life feels heavy, you cannot rely on willpower alone to move forward. This is why routines are essential. They act as your anchor in the storm, giving structure and stability to your days, even when everything else feels chaotic. A strong, simple routine begins with the morning. A slow, gentle start is okay, as long as you organize your first moments with intention, whether it is making your bed, stretching, or setting a small goal for the day. Movement, even brief, is another powerful tool. A short walk, a few stretches, or a few minutes of mindful exercise helps your mental state more than you realize. Incorporate learning into your routine, even if it is only a page of a book, a podcast episode, or a short video that inspires growth. Reflection is equally important. Take 5 minutes to journal, writing a single sentence about what you learned today, how you grew, or what you noticed about yourself. Finally, end the day with a simple reset. Prepare for tomorrow, clean one small area, review a goal, or set a clear intention. Bad times demand gentle, consistent routines rather than strict, exhausting schedules. Repetition matters more than intensity. Over time, these small actions anchor you, calm your mind, and remind you that even in chaos, you are in control of small, meaningful steps. Through routine, you build stability, regain focus, and create the foundation to rise stronger, one day at a time. Chapter 12. Let time do its work. Some problems demand action, and some problems demand patience. Life's difficulties are not always solved by force, determination, or willpower alone. Sometimes the only solution is time. Time has a way of softening sharp edges, of making what once felt unbearable gradually manageable. It is one of the greatest healers, but only if you allow it to do its work. Rushing the process, punishing yourself for feeling slow, or comparing your journey to others only creates more weight on your shoulders. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply growing at your own pace. Every day you manage to get out of bed, face the day, or even take a single small step forward is progress. Each one of these actions, no matter how minor it seems, is a victory. Healing is rarely linear. Some days are heavy, filled with fear, frustration, or grief. Other days are light, where hope feels closer and joy seems possible again. Both the heavy days and the light days are part of the same process. Neither is wasted. Giving yourself time is an act of self-love, a quiet acknowledgement that rebuilding your life cannot be rushed. Each sunrise is an opportunity for growth. Each moment of patience strengthens your resilience. Each breath is a reminder that you are still here, still fighting, still moving forward. Trust the process. Trust that in time the sharp edges will soften, the pain will dull, and the lessons hidden in your struggles will reveal themselves. Time does not erase your challenges, but it gives you the space to rise above them. And as you allow time to work, you discover a truth that cannot be rushed. You are not just surviving. You are becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable with every passing day. Chapter 13. Become stronger than your past. Bad times have a way of trying to anchor you in your past. They whisper that your mistakes define you, that your failures are permanent, and that your identity is trapped in what has already happened. But your future is unwritten, and your past does not have the power to dictate who you will become. Look in the mirror and say, I am not my mistakes. I am not my failures. I am not my past. I am becoming someone new. Every hardship you have endured, every night you survived, every tear you shed has been a training ground for resilience. You have overcome challenges you thought you could never face. You are stronger than you realize, braver than you believe, and more capable than you imagine. Your past is simply a story of survival, and your present is the place where you reclaim your strength. You are defined not by what happened to you, but by how you rise after it. Each small victory, each lesson learned, each moment of courage builds the foundation for the person you are becoming. Strength is forged in the fire of experience, and every painful moment has been part of that forging. Your past is no longer a chain. It is a teacher, a guide, and a reminder that you can rise always. Chapter 14. Your comeback is coming. Every story has a turning point, a moment when the darkness begins to fade, and the person who has fallen rises stronger than before. That moment is coming for you. Your comeback will arrive, quietly or dramatically, but it will arrive. It will surprise those who doubted you, inspire those who are watching, and remind you of the strength you always carried within yourself. Bad times do not last forever, but the resilience, courage, and wisdom you develop during them do. Each struggle you endure, each challenge you face, is preparing you for this moment. You are becoming stronger with every passing day, more equipped to handle whatever comes next, and more confident in your ability to rise. Your comeback is not just a return, it is a transformation. Final words. You will rise again. If you are in a dark season right now, know this. This is not the end. This is not your final chapter. And it is not your whole story. This is a difficult page in your book, a season that will shape, teach, and prepare you. Bad times are not permanent. They are lessons in disguise, refining your strength, sharpening your resilience, and expanding your capacity for growth. One day you will look back and realize, I didn't know how strong I was until life demanded it. You will rise again. You will rebuild. You will recover. You will grow. You will become everything you are meant to be. Take a deep breath. Stand tall. Step forward. Your new chapter begins now, and it is brighter than you can imagine.